Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elistar Velgaros, and welcome back to more Satisfactory. We spent quite a long time last time getting ready for our major expansion upon our base as we get ready to complete Phase 3 and move on to the more advanced and technical aspects of the game. So we ripped everything down after constructing a nice little rubber and plastic plant, transporting some of the materials over here. That's what those two bins are right there. And practically spent a couple of live streams collecting every resource in the desert. There's a couple of them that I have missed, as you can see, that little guy right there that I missed. I think that's an impure node anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, all the way out to the sulfur node that's way out there in the cliffside there. And even going to go get the resources in the pit over there. And we also expanded upon our worldwide power grid here. I'm placing these power towers that carry all of the input of power from our power plants all the way around the world. And you can see it goes pretty far till about right there when it dips down below the cliffs and then follows the shoreline that way. We made it pretty much halfway around the world. We finished about right there. So we got to finish that at some time. I might do that off camera. It's not really that important. What is important, though, is the research that we have done using the hard drives that we collected over that entire journey. And we have a lot of resources and recipes to go through. On top of that, we're going to be doing a lot of research today. We got tons of alien megafauna that we have to go through. There's some of the mycelia tree that we can go down because I did collect a little bit of mushrooms. Nutrients we could probably actually finish today. Quartz we can probably go down as well. And mostly down the sulfur line we're going to. And we're also going to be checking out what this classified phenomena is today. First things first, let's get some compacted coal that I had made up and some black powder that I also made. We'll grab that. Nope, not the berries, because I don't have all the berries that we need. And some of these. Alien megafauna. Hatchlings, or hatchers. You get these fully researched. Ada's going to put her 2 cents in.
The researched belong to a plant-like organism hosting the larva of the flying crab, the most mature of which hatch when threatened. Hatcher remains can now be made into alien protein, and additional research may reveal options for improving pioneer safety during exploration.
And then the stingers. Doo-doo-doo.
The remains researched belong to an organism with 8 jointed legs, similar to the legs of arachnids but with non-standard distribution and function. Because its attacks focus on stabbing prey with the ends of their legs, which resemble insectoid stingers, they have been dubbed stingers. Stinger remains can now be made into alien protein, and additional research may reveal options for improving pioneer exploration.
Oop. I accidentally alt-tabbed there. Sorry about that. Okay, so next thing is the sulfur line. We're gonna go into this side first. We're gonna get turbo fuel. One hard drive, some compacted coal, and a little bit of packaged fuel.
Turbo fuel unlocked. This upgrade to regular fuel is optimal for fuel-powered generators, jetpacks, and fulfilling long-distance trucker fantasies.
I didn't know about that dialogue right there. So yeah, turbo fuel is really, really good. I love using turbo fuel. It's a pain in the ass to make, but you can make it by combining standard fuel and compact coal, and it is so much better to use than regular fuel. But we also have rocket fuel and ionized fuel to research. So I have 2 spare hard drives I'm going to put away just for those researches, because these are pretty cool. I haven't actually used these yet, but I heard the ionized fuel is kind of insane. But let us look at the nobelisks. I gotta go get some pipes, which I have stored just over this way. Nobelisks are very fun. For all of you destruction freaks and pyromaniacs, Nobelisks is the way to go, because they make the big booms. So, Nobelisks and the detonator.
Detonator and basic Nobelisk unlocked. Most obstacles can be cleared with the basic Nobelisk. It is most effective against organic material and is able to destroy small boulders and porous rock. Deployed Nobelisks will stick to the first solid surface they touch and queue on the universal detonator. If you do not recall the order in which you deployed the Nobelisks, remember Fixit does not take responsibility for any harm caused due to human error, even if those errors are genetic.
Yeah. So that's the thing about the Nobelisks. They basically have like a universal queue. So you throw down one, that'll be the first one in the queue. Second one will be the second one, and they will detonate in the order that you throw them. They're very good, as Ada said, for destroying boulders and rocks. And they're also very good for clearing obstacles. So if you have like a giant forest that you got to clear out, those are good to use. But I'm going to upgrade my hand slot as well.
Tool belt expanded. I compounded sulfur's tristatic atom matrix into a quadrimensional gate vortex. You can now carry more stuff.
Yippee! Thank you, Ada. You are most helpful. Vroom. Okay, next up is smokeless powder.
Research completed. Smokeless powder recipe unlocked. New sulfur research available for the development of high-end weaponry and ammunition.
What do I need here? An object scanner? Alright, let's make that detonator real quick. Put that in our hand slot. Thank you. Let's see. Wait, is smokeless powder something that you make in the crafting table? No? Where is it? Huh. Smoke on the water. Smokeless powder. Oh, it's in a refinery. Interesting. That's why you can't make it. You need heavy oil residue. Hmm. Very well then. And of course I need 50 of it in order to unlock the rifle and the ammo. And to go into pretty much anything else. Okay. Fair enough, game. Alright. Next up, we can do mycelia. I don't have a lot of this stuff, because it was kind of difficult to obtain.
The mycelial networks of these fungi possess unusually resilient hyphae, which show potential for making a strong but lightweight natural fabric. Additionally, it has similar medicinal and pest control applications to mycelia on Earth.
Yeah. There's a bunch of new recipes down here, but most importantly is this one. Fabric. We're going to need fabric in order to get past sticky clouds. Or if we want to go into the stank. Not entirely necessary, though. I'll tell you guys that right now. You don't need to go down that line specifically, because there are ways to get around it. We are going to be taking the alternate route around. So, in fact, what we're going to do, we're actually going to make a couple of nobelisks. Some black powder and steel pipes. Very easy. We're going to make a couple of them, carry them around with us, just so we have something to break the rocks that are around here, because it's very important that we do that eventually. You can make... There we go, 50. 50 sounds pretty good. Alright. Along our travels, we also managed to obtain a bunch of little sluggo boys. And I would like to be able to use those sluggos. Specifically for the power shards. But let me explain something that is very, very important, okay? Slugs are very limited in the world, and they don't come back. So when you pick up a slug, that's it. You obtain that slug, and it never comes back. There's never a slug that comes and sits on the same rock. Once it's gone, it's gone. In the past, there used to be a way that you are able to farm slugs, but in order to do that, you need to utilize the mechanics of another creature in Satisfactory called the lizard doggo. Now, of course, with synthetic power shards and everything, you don't need any of that anymore. But synthetic power shards aren't unlocked for a very long time. So, we are going to go about this whole process in a different way. And it's going to revolve around these strange artifacts that we've been seeing all over the place. This one being the most important one, the Sommer Sloop.
The Summer Sloop was named after Marie Somerville, co-founder of Fixit and head of its R&D department. There are many theories about the origin of this shape and why this symbol mathematically resembling a Mobius strip has found its way to both human and extraterrestrial culture. Thankfully, you don't need to know any of these theories to be a pioneer. Research it in the MAM to establish locally appropriate classification and application. Fun fact: the planet you are on was found and named during a planet spotting event Marie hosted named Marie's Awesome Scientific Search of the Avant-Garde Exoplanets.
Characters that are being named don't really have that big of a significance, but it's just fun. There's a little cave down here, and it has the Mercer spheres. These are also incredibly important, so we're picking these up too.
The astrobiologist Dr. D.M. Mercer was the first to recognize the presence and probable nature of these alien artifacts. These chain-melted state spheres are named in his honor. Each sphere emits a unique signal. Research it in the MAM to establish locally appropriate classification and application.
All right. So, yeah, these things are quite literally everywhere. These are also incredibly limited in the world, so if you find them, pick them up. I know there's another thing down here. You can break open that wall. Oh, but it's spicy down here. We could take a peek. Okay. No, we can't. No, we cannot. I was unaware of the fact that there is a nuclear pig down there. We'll put that. We'll put a peen in that. Or actually, what we could do. There's another way to get in there, which is right here. We just got to get past Mr. Pigoo here. Come here. Hey, don't you run from me. Thank you, Mr. Pigoo. Alright. So, we just throw a couple of these guys down at Mr. Pigoo. We take a little bit of radiation damage. Damn it, Mr. Pigoo. Just be careful, though. When you're using bombs against the pigs, they have a tendency to kind of make your bombs explode midair sometimes. Oh, you moved. You suck. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Just gonna back on up a little bit. Okay. I think Mr. Pigoo is dead. But his body still radiates a massive amounts of radiation. That sucks. Alright. Well, can't do anything about that because the radiation will literally kill me. This little guy here, though, we can pick up. Come here, Mr. Sombersloop. Alright. Let's plop down a MAM real quick here, so that way we can start looking at alien tech. Research a Mercer sphere.
Mercer sphere analysis completed. Established local planetary signature of massage 2, AB, in the local Mercer sphere signals, allowing them to be tracked by the object scanner. Mercer spheres can also transmit data between specific.
Witness our scripture, witness our windows. Have you come to defile our shrine? Sing us on.
Arguing the existence of intelligent alien life. While Fixit has figured out the method, all of the original data is still untranslatable.
What was that? Alright, let's get the Somber Sloop.
Summer sloop analysis completed. Summer sloops are somewhere between battery and conduit. harvesting energy from pockets of space with complete disregard for the rules of the space-time continuum, and distributing it into its connected ecosystem. This energy,
Let the effigies harvest until the waves reach our shores. Consume.
similarities to the hypothetical force of dark energy to potentially be one and the same. It can now be tracked by the object scanner.
So yeah. I'll tell you one thing. I love the alien research tree strictly for this reason. The alien materials that you collect, like the Mercer spheres, the Sommer sloops, and everything like that, do tend to talk to you. And every interaction that you have with, or most of the interactions that you would have with the, oh, hold on. That you would have with the alien artifacts and stuff do have, like, dialogue, so it's good to listen to them because they're kind of funny. There's one more thing that we're going to need for the alien technology research. I already know where some of it is, and it's up here on the very, very top of this cliff. That's why we're heading up here right now. But little sluggos are distracting me. I must collect. I must collect little slug. Alright. And as you can see, I also set up a little sky bridge here to get it close to where we have to be. And there it is, right there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Sam. And no, that's not its name or anything like that. It's literally what it's called. It's Sam. It used to be called, like, Sam or something like that, but promptly renamed to just Sam. And I didn't hook up the power or anything to this yet, because I wanted all of this to be in a video, so you all can see how things are going here. So let's hook up the power real fast. Oh, and there's a Mercer sphere right there too. We're going to be picking these things up everywhere we see them from now on. So let's jump up. Hello. Yoink. Alright, then we're gonna go collect some Sam. Some Sam ore. Because this stuff is incredibly important for the research of alien technology. We got, what is this, Mark II? 120 per minute. Alright, let's bring her out. Say hello to the Sam. In Damam, we need 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alien tech. Sam.
Strange alien matter analysis completed. Dormant crystalline SAM can now be found with the resource scanner. In its dormant state, it is safe to handle without special equipment and can be stored indefinitely. Research for enabling the reanimation of dormant SAM is now available.
Fill the rivers with blood and let the effigies defile our temples. The sun will follow.
They're also kind of a little gruesome. So, let's do the research for reanimated Sam.
Sam reanimation recipe unlocked. Sam can now be safely awakened, provided it is contained. Meaning, if not contained in special electromagnetic storage, it tends to start breaking atomic bonds of any matter it has physical contact with, and reconstructing it into easily transportable resources.
Scripture and blood compose harmony. Follow our hallowed temple halls and listen to the echoes of your ripples. Our bones are more beautiful than yours.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, I have not the slightest freaking idea of what any of the translations are with what the aliens are actually saying. Like, all of these things about scriptures and temples, blood, and all that other stuff, it doesn't actually mean what it's saying. It's some kind of inscription that I don't know, and I'm not going to try and pretend to understand. But I need to go get some more material to continue bringing all of the SAM down to the base. Gonna collect a couple more sluggos as well. And then we're gonna get into the complete reason as to why I'm going into collecting all of the alien artifacts and doing alien research and everything. Which include the sluggos. So I'll be back in a minute.
The effigy has no song, only echoes, but it is part of a river. Why does the effigy avoid the windows?
Attention. Your brain's operations are outside typical parameters. Time spent daydreaming will be deducted from your sustenance budget.
What? What? My food? No. Well, I better keep collecting this bacon then. I mean, I didn't even do anything. I'm just collecting strange alien stuff that apparently is messing with my brain. No. My food.
The effigy's ripples through our temples, our veins nearly touch. It is shy. Notes shall be taken and played.
From a certain perspective, your brain looks like it is processing language, but there is no auditory data. If you are hearing voices that are not mine, this is no cause for concern. It is a common side effect of extreme pressure and stress.
Interesting that that Ada's just like, oh yeah, no, it's no big deal. It's totally fine. And I'm here listening to the aliens talk about blood songs and effigies and all this other stuff. Alright, after some time, I managed to go ahead and grab myself 3 more Somber Sloops, 20 more Mercer Spheres, and a crap ton more Sluggos. So let's figure out what else we can do. We need reanimated Sam. So let's get a little system here going. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Let's just grab some storage. And then we're going to grab our SAM that we have that I brought over. Yeah, I'm just gonna freaking clip it through all this stuff. I don't care. We're only using this like this temporarily. So fuck it. Let's get reanimated Sam. Oh. Alright, well, it's only one then. Because we're only getting 120 SAM per minute. So we gotta sit here and wait for this now. Alright, just like that. We need SAM fluctuators.
SAM fluctuator recipe unlocked. The fluctuator can mimic unique communication through patterns of electric frequencies to instruct reanimated SAM to perform specific tasks or give specific restrictions, such as matter to energy conversion. It can also function as matter memory, reading the exact composition and state of a collection of matter in one location, breaking it down, and near instantly reconstructing it in another location, which has incredible potential for smart storage.
Your threads shift solid to fluid to a tapestry, matter, and mind and melody.
Yeah, sure thing. Alright, we need wire and steel pipe now to make the fluctuators. We need pipes, wire, tons of this stuff, and tons of extra reanimated SAM here. We only need like 10 of these, so we're gonna throw in those, and we're gonna speed this up a bit. Alright, so alien tech. We need 10 of these guys. And then 100 more for this. This is what I'm after right here, the production amplifier. Alright, I gotta keep feeding this stuff. Give. Thank you. This is gonna take a little while. Alright, unlock that. Thank you.
Potential for harnessing alien energy completed. Fixit has identified 2 development tracks requiring additional research to integrate Summersloops safely and efficiently into Fixit technology.
The loop organ contains scripture, contains instruments to compose symphonies of root and rot and recycling. Shrines to evolution and revolution.
Sure, whatever that means. Alright, last thing we're gonna need another assembler right here, making us some circuit boards. So, we're gonna grab that, come over here to our sheets, and we need about 50 of these guys. So while that's going, I am going to take this and honestly just feed this into here, because we need 100 of these bad boys, and that's going to take a while. Alright, in the meantime, let me go ahead and do some of our hard drives. There's a couple of recipes that I'm after right out of the gate. So, like we had earlier, basic iron and biocoal. I don't want these recipes. I hate them. We already rescanned this hard drive. We're leaving them alone. Plastic smart plating and fine concrete. Not the greatest of recipes, I'll be honest. Rescan, copper alloy, copper rotors. This is a really good recipe. I like this recipe. We're taking that one. Iron-coated canisters, diluted packaged fuel. 2 recipes. This can be used for a big alternate system through fuel and everything. We're not going to use it. Rescan. Rigger motors, infused wire. Okay. Rigger motors are actually not that bad. We're going to take that one. Wet concrete. We are taking this one, without a doubt. Bolted frames, also another very good recipe. We're taking that one. Quick wire cable and cheap silica. We're taking the cheap silica. Flexible framework and iron pipes. We are taking iron pipes. Absolutely. This recipe is goated. I mean, it's expensive. 100 wire. It's a 4-to-1 ratio. That's insane. But it's so helpful, chat. Trust me. It's so helpful. Steel canisters and charcoal. We are not touching either of these recipes. We are leaving them in here and letting it go. Recycled rubber. This is a big recipe. We already have the recycled plastic recipe. I picked that up during our live stream. We're going to take that. Absolutely. Steamed copper sheets and encased industrial pipes. These are two awesome recipes. But we're going to be taking the encased industrial pipes. Heavy flexible frames. Heavy oil residue. We are taking the heavy oil residue recipe here. Thank you. Cast screws, silicone circuit boards. Two very good recipes. Cast screws, however, are the best screw recipe in the game, in my opinion. Caterium wire and adhered iron plates. Caterium wire is really not... It's great in terms of ratios. It's insane, as a matter of fact. 15 caterium for 120 wire, that's a pretty decent amount. And if you change it to the maximum output, it's 300 wire per minute for only 37.5 caterium. It's not a bad recipe. We're rescanning it, though. Silicone circuit boards and caterium computers. We might actually take the silicone circuit boards. I kind of like the silicone recipe. And now that we have the cheap silica as well, we're going to take that one. Coated iron plates and pure iron ingots. Coated iron plates is a really, really good recipe. 37.5 and 7.5 plastic for 75 copper plates. And when you fully overclock it, it's 187.5 iron plates. That's insane. However, if you ever come across a pure recipe, pure iron ingots, take it. Take it, take it, take it. I cannot stress that enough. It practically doubles your freaking ores. It's insane. Iron wire and the electrode circuit board. Two okay recipes. I kind of like the iron wire recipe, especially if you have a shit ton of iron available to you. So we're probably going to take the iron wire recipe. Fused quick wire, fused quartz crystal, not that great. We're actually going to rescan this hard drive. Steel rotors and molded steel pipes. You bitch. You suck so much. We're taking the steel rotor recipe. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the best recipes for rotors in the game. But molded steel pipes is also a very, very good recipe. We're taking the rotors. All right, rubber concrete, and of course, there's another pure recipe, pure quartz crystals. We're taking that, of course. Quick wire stators or inventory slots. We're rescanning this one. There it is. Solid steel, baby. But, they had to give me the alternate for pure copper as well. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. The solid steel recipe is the one recipe that I have been after, because this recipe is a one to one, or a 2-to-1 recipe. I'm sorry. It's like a 1.5 to 1 recipe here. 40 iron ingots and 40 iron ingots and 40 coal instead of using the ores gives you 60 steel ingots. That's insane. We're going to be taking the solid steel ingots. I hate to throw away the pure copper ingot recipe. I hate throwing this away. But the solid steel is just, God, I can't get rid of this. Steel rods and the Caterium circuit boards. We're going to take the Caterium circuit board recipe. That's not a bad one. Steel cast plate and automated speed wiring. We're going to rescan this one. Inventory slots, fused wire. Fuck. We're going to take the inventory slots. That sucked. Heavy encased frames or tempered copper. We're going to take the heavy encased frames. I think this recipe... I think it's either this recipe or a different one. Let me double check. Let me check my work. Let me double check my work here, chat. Give me a second. There should be 3. Heavy flexible frames and the heavy encased frames. Okay, it's the flexible frames I'm after. Yeah, the heavy flexible frame is what I'm after. That's the recipe I want. We're going to rescan this. Quickwire cable and crystal computers. Interesting. Crystal computers. All right, chat. Now it's Gamba. We're looking for that pure copper recipe again. Ah, tempered Caterium and plastic smart. We're gonna take plastic smart. Damn. And then, of course, there's that hard drive that's left. So sad, everyone. We didn't get any of the major recipes that we wanted. It happens. It happens, it happens. Alright. Back to alien tech, though. We are going to look into these things. The Dimensional Depot Uploaders. Start the research for this.
Dimensional Depot unlocked. SAM can be utilized to deconstruct matter down to its chemical elements in one dimension, and the Mercer sphere allows it to be transferred and stored in another. Once parts are fed into the Dimensional Depot, they can be accessed by the Pioneer inventory and build gun system at any time, anywhere.
We see through the window. It is pathetic. Consume more blood. The glass will not shatter, the metal will not bend, the wood will not splinter. Weave.
Okay, that was a lot. So to give like the easiest description of the Dimensional Depot I can possibly give you, think of the Dimensional Depot similar to the cloud. Okay, you can set up the Dimensional Depot. Let's just, for example, set up one for iron plates and one for concrete, right? So you set them up, you upload them, and then you can see it uploads the iron plates to your Dimensional Depot slot in your inventory. So you just press tab, open it up, and then there it is. And you can take any of these whenever you want. It also functions in the build gun as well. So if you don't have the materials in your inventory, it takes it out of the dimensional depot, out of the cloud. And if we head over here, you can also upload things from your inventory into the dimensional depot cloud with this upgrade right here, the manual depot uploader. Plus, you can also upgrade the amount of stuff that can be added at a time. So at the moment, I think we're only able to upload like 15 items per minute or something like that. And you can also increase the amount of material you can hold. Trust me, later down the line, the Dimensional Depot becomes one of, if not the most important thing that you can have in your world. Having a storage system with the Dimensional Depots is extremely helpful in any circumstance at all. It's the reason why I wanted to get started on building these as quickly as I could. You can see the little Mercer sphere right there. And each of them are being uploaded 15 per minute at this rate, which isn't really the greatest. But don't worry, it does get faster. It does get faster and faster as you go down the technology line, all the way up to 240 items a minute. That doesn't mean, however, that you can only have one Dimensional Depot uploading items at a time. It's technically faster to have one depot next to another, and then having a splitter going into one of the depots, then into another, then into another, to upload items faster. It is 15 items per minute at the current moment per Dimensional Depot uploading items. I hope that made sense. But for right now, we gotta go check on our circuit boards, and we have to continue making the SAM fluctuators, because we're gonna need a lot of things for that. Okay, circuit boards are done. Get out of my way. And now we just have to wait for the fluctuators to be done. We're halfway done, but I'm gonna need some more materials. I'll be right back for that. Finally, we are done waiting for the fluctuators. Let's grab our somber sloops. Come in here for the alien tech. And we're going to unlock the production amplifier. Start that research.
Production amplifier unlocked. Every single manufacturing and smelting building will be backwards compatible with this new technology. These buildings can now have a summer sloop embedded to increase resource output without requiring more input, at the cost of greatly increased power consumption.
Flow cycles within flow cycles make explosions into temples and explosions into temples. The spin sphere of woven windows. Each tiny body contains tinier bodies until the line layers fold into curves, which folds into threads which weave the tapestry. A song of light and leaf and flower, a dance of matter clouds and...
I think they're trying to explain energy to matter conversion theory, but you do not need to understand it to do your job. I'll just mute them for you so you can continue your mission. I, however, will be taking notes. This is fascinating material.
Oh boy. Alright. So, what this basically does... So you see how when I have this constructor fully overclocked, producing iron ingots. 75 iron ingots to 50 iron plates, right? If I throw a summer sloop in here, however, it doubles the output. So, if you were to say, put that into perspective of a slug, I think you guys can get where this is going. But when you're doing this, and if you're like me and you want to completely max out how this works, it doesn't do it automatically. What you gotta do is, for example, take like, what is this? 10 rods? Toss it in. And then there you go. You're getting your extra screws now. Change the recipe. And now, all of your blue slugs will be giving you 2 power shards. And if you look, there's this fancy purple smoke that comes out of it now. And now, you pretty much have double output of power shards for every single slug that you have. Now, keep in mind, Sommer sloops and Mercer spheres are very limited. There's only a specific number of them in the world, okay? I wouldn't recommend making your factory rely on Sommer sloops and the double output. Certain things in temporary setups is what I usually do when I have a certain amount of Sommer sloops. Like, and it varies because the constructors only take 1 Sommer sloop. That's not a big deal. But if you were to, for example, put down an assembler, assemblers take 2 Sommer sloops. Manufacturers are even worse. They're 4 Sommer sloops. Refineries are the exact same way. They're 4 Sommer sloops. So it's a balancing act. Certain things, I would say, yes, throw a Sommer sloop in there, speed up your production time so you can get going on producing more material and growing the factory and such. Okay, I get that. But like I said earlier, I would not recommend having the production of your factories rely on the Sommer sloops. There are way better uses for your Sommer sloops than just item production, okay? There are much better uses for them. So now, we're going to get 4 power shards for every yellow slug that we have here. And then, we're going to be getting a lot of power shards for every purple slug that we have. We're going to be getting 10 power shards for every purple slug. So that's 250 shards just out of those purple slugs. And there's a reason we're doing this. Don't worry, there is always a method to my madness. So, already 100 power shards we have. That is actually a lot of power shards. But this is the next thing you're after. This is what you're wanting to use your Sommer sloops on. the alien power augmenter. We'll go over this at a much later date when we have the materials and the resources to actually make them, and when it's important. The augmenters are good when you have semi-permanent to permanent structures making power for you. That is the only time I would ever recommend using the alien power augmenters. Until then, just use the somber sleuths for item production. Temporary item production, might I add. So with the power shards in production and all of our resources here, we now have all of our alternate recipes as well. I think we're ready to get started on our production line. Wouldn't you guys say so? But all of this talk of upgrades and alien technology and stuff like that kind of burned up all of my time. So with that, I think we're going to go ahead and call this episode here. Next time, we're going to be putting all of our brand new alternate recipes to use, and hopefully we will be able to complete Phase 3. So, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you guys want to see some more Satisfactory. Make sure to follow me on all my other socials, and come follow me on Twitch, where I will probably be doing a lot of work on this factory and on this world a lot in the coming future. So, thanks a lot, guys, and I'm gonna go celebrate making all of these power shards. See you next time. Bye-bye.